Hi parents of Leo children, this is your tarot treat for the week of April 17th through the 23rd. Let's tap into what messages are coming up for your Leo child and how your relationship dynamics will be impacted for the week. I don't like when that happens. Anyway. It's like it's just paper. But when they get nicked, it's like, oh, I can't repair that. Anyway. That's why usually I like to laminate my cards so that they last longer. And it, I don't know, it feels good. But at the same time, it's like, they don't fit in the boxes anymore. Because who would have thought that extra layer would make that big of a difference, but it does. Okay, lots of things coming out. Okay. It feels like it's a regenerative energy. Hello. We got about like 10, 11 cards here. It's not bad because especially because they have the Ace of Cups. So what I have is Death card, obviously, Judgment in reverse, the Empress in reverse, the Ten of Cups, the Hermit. I also have the Nine of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, like I said before. You have the Four of Wands and the Page of Cups. So I feel like there's something that they kind of pushed aside, that they walked away from, that they don't want to be bothered with. It's not a negative feeling. It's a learning lesson and a healthy one too. So I see like, I just see that there's a lesson learned, an observation about human behavior, and they just kind of took a step back. And they're using this opportunity to create the life that they want. Something wasn't as it seemed. So there was like whatever they had like a feeling of, it's almost like an illusion. So it was like a daydream or whatever. And it's like the reality of that, like just kind of fell apart. But they weren't like bummed out about it. I see, I mean, with the Empress in reverse and the Hermit, I see like going in and just kind of not even regrouping, but re-evaluating a strategy. It was something dealing with other people. So working together with other peers or something like that. And they just saw something and it's like, maybe it's almost like a friendship where like they thought this person was good friends. And then after they saw like that illusion or somebody that they really were impressed by, it's like, no, I'm going to reevaluate like how I pick friends, or, you know, like I'm going to use this as an advantage on things to look for or look out for when I involve myself with people. And this is something that they could pick up as early as 5. It could be, I mean, you could be really surprised if you have a 5-year-old Leo child with probably Libra aspects in their chart. They're going to surprise you that they observe some nature in their classmates. And they're like, no, mommy, I don't want to do that. No, mommy, I don't like how, I don't want to be like that. Those people do such and such and so and so. I don't want to be like that. And it's going to like catch you off guard. And that's like, to me, that's what the Page of Cups can be. It's an emotional epiphany, a newness. They're going off in a different direction, but it's just like, nope, nope, I don't want that. No, mommy. So yeah, that's what I get. So if I can get through this without any more cards jumping out, that would be great. Because it's like, it takes a lot to, like, let me do the math. Let me do the tarot math and figure out what these cards are trying to tell me. All right. Aries parents. Yeah, the Two of Swords. Now, in relation to this, I'm trying to understand why you are... And the only thing that I can see is that you know these people. And you're like in disbelief. Like, I can't believe that. I never knew that about so-and-so. Or that can't be the case. Or something. I don't know why you're choosing to, like, you are in, it is a resistance to believe or to receive information from your child, for whoever this is for. And I think it just involves somebody that you know, and it's a conflict. You don't want to believe something about somebody based on what your child told them. And this very well could be a family member. This could be somebody that's in the home, and your child is like, your child discovers something. I don't want to say terribly bad, but they could discover, like, they could go over to a relative's house. They could discover like some prescription medication or something, or some behavior in a family member, and like they tell you about it, and they're like, I don't want to go over their house anymore. And then you are in your head like, how do I tell my spouse, my significant other, that our child doesn't want to go over their family member's house because, you know, David or whatever the child's name is discovered something at somebody's house that wasn't cool. Yeah. Taurus parents, what is that? This is something that you are connected to. So it's, you feel a little bit more tangled in this situation with the Leo child. And you're like, how do I navigate this? Like, you're really in your head about how do you separate yourself from all of this without like daggers being thrown at you or you being isolated. So you're trying to find the way to present this information to somebody. Whereas this is more like you're in your head about like you haven't even taken any action yet. Your Aries parents are still trying to wrap their head around like, how is this even possible? And still deciphering in their head like what the story is. They're still wrapping their mind around that before they even could get to a place where how they're gonna act or, you know, function. Taurus parents, you guys are like, all right, I'm in this. This involves my family. How do I navigate this? How do I tell my parents? How do I tell, you know, my cousin or whoever that we're not going to come over their house anymore because they let their kids watch something that we don't agree with, and my sister's going to be mad at me or whatever. So you are in the process of trying to figure out how to navigate this. When the Eight of Swords always tells us, all you got to do is, you know, the answer is right in front of you. The solutions, you're making this more complicated than what it needs to be. You're trying to go about it in a way You're trying to find the path of least resistance. And the path that's going to give you the most freedom is just doing what's the most simplest thing, and just not worrying about the outcome, not worrying about how the information is going to be received, but just say, hey, these are our values, these are our standards. I understand that's what you guys watch, but we can't come over there because he can't see that. That's it. And you may get a little pushback, but you will feel so much better for just being true, holding true to your standards and who you are, and protecting your family. Gemini parents, I was like, whew, that's a lot. Gemini parents, you guys have the Wheel of Fortune. It could have been something that you were like, you had a hunch. This is almost like justice for you. Like something, I feel you're going to be like, yep, I told you. Like it's something is coming full circle, where maybe you had concerns and it was like your spouse, significant other, you expressed this, they weren't hearing it. Now that the child tells you, or your child is presenting the evidence that your spouse or significant other would not listen to from you, now it's like they're going to listen to it coming from their child's mouth and having to deal with something, or and it could be something in the home. It could be your spouse's behavior that your child picked up on, and you're like, they're gonna, this isn't okay. You need to watch this, or, stop doing this, or be mindful of how often you're doing this. And your child catches, and they're like, no, daddy, no, mommy, I don't want to be like so-and-so. I saw such and such, and then finally it's like, everything works out. Moving on to Cancer parents. I feel like you are in denial or struggling. Like this feels very heavy. Not terribly heavy, but it's an emotional struggle on how do you deal with this, and feeling some shame and guilt because these are your people. It feels very much like it's in the house. It's like this house dysfunction, whether it's yours or family members, but feeling like it's bringing up stuff from your past. And so it's a cycle that is now being like duplicated or repeated, and you're like, you don't want this to continue. You don't want your child to relive what you lived. And so you're in your feelings, not in a petty way, but I don't mean it in a petty way. It's like you're really having to deal with and contemplate, come to terms with, all right, and then formulating a plan of action on how you're going to move forward to stop and break this cycle. Leo parents of Libra children, yeah, you're nipping this shit in the bud. Like you're coming in strong. You're coming like, nope. You have a plan of action on how to remedy this. Whether it's at home, whether it's at school, something to that effect. You have a plan of action. You're setting a tone, setting the order. This is not happening again. It's a done deal. Virgo parents, you have the Page of Wands. I see you taking swift action. It's very decisive though. It's a small thing regarding yeah, it just feels with the Page of Wands, it's an action, but it's a very succinct, like minute correction, and then it's done. Libra parents, you guys have the Tower. It's gonna shake some shit up. not in a highly destructive way. It's just going to bring something to your awareness of a change that needs to happen in your life. And so whatever this is, whatever your child finds out that they tell you, you're going to make the corrective measures to make sure that this does not happen again. Not bad. It's just like, all right. It's a very definitive like epiphany. Like, okay, locks, not like not literally locks changed, but you are re-evaluating how you are gonna go, like, move going forward. And so it's like, all right, this plan of action, I just hear locks changed. Access to your heart, access to your house, something specific and timely and whatever. You're going to be setting up something. I feel the need to change this mid-shuffle, or not mid-shuffle, but mid-reading. So that goes for Libra parents. Moving on to Scorpio parents. Let's see what you guys have. Okay. I'll just take this one because I want to. Yeah. What do you do about this? What do you do about this? This is, you have a lot of options. So this is very much the Scorpio card for me is like, you are like, what are you're exploring your options, finding out like your decisive plan of action that you're going to take, and you're aware of all of the components. So you're evaluating like how, if you go this way, like what is going to be what's going to be the outcome? How is all this going to play out if you choose to go this way versus that? And that's what I see you doing. So moving on to Sagittarius, you have this, yeah, you're just going to let people, you're going to be very blunt. And it's not even harsh. Like you're not intending to be harsh is what I mean. It's going to be very dry, very matter-of-factly. No, this, like, I see somebody saying, no, so-and-so saw porn in your house. We're not coming over there anymore. And that's it. Like, it's going to be that cut and dry. Yes, like your son, you're going to say to somebody, which would be like your nephew or cousin or something, but you're going to tell somebody straight up to their face, no, you exposed my child to something that we don't do. We're not coming over there anymore. Because I can't trust to know that you're going to take care of my child when they're in your presence. And that's what it's going to be, very, very matter-of-factly. No, like, there's no like sugarcoating, there's nothing. It's just word of truth in one sentence. Capricorn parents, you're very clear. There's no doubt in your mind. Like, there's no confusion about how to handle this. It's going to be very, and I don't mean to say this as a cliche, but it's going to be very Capricornian in that it just has this very economic, business, practical, diplomatic way of handling it. All the buttons are going to be, buttoned up. All the strings are going to be tied, the I's dotted, the T's crossed. Everything, every part of this will be like well manicured, well handled. And you're just going to go in with this game plan and like, nope, that's what it is. You're not you're not confused about this. You're not confused about the situation, how to handle it, what the outcome is going to be, your plan of action, none of that. You're very clear on how you're going to move forward. And for our Aquarius parents, let's just take this one. Oh, nice. 8 of Pentacles. I feel like you're building a better life for your child. Whatever this is you're aware of, I feel like this could be your family. And you were earnestly like, yeah, I hear you and I am aware of that. I see you. So you're not invalidating your child's things. This is going to cause you to hustle more in your plan of action, and you're like, this is whatever your child tells you is nothing new. You've already known this because you probably were aware of it in your childhood or your adolescence with this person or something. But it's going to propel and compel you to work that much harder, faster, more efficient with your time and energy so that you can create or build or complete a project that you're working on to give your child a better life that you've wanted to get them away from. Alcoholism is coming to mind. So you could have a family history of somebody being an alcoholic, and you're like, no, I'm going to move out of this house. I'm going to move out of this city. I'm going to get away from these toxic people who are unfortunately influencing my child. And I feel like for some of you, it's a matter of you need help. You could be a single parent. You may not be able to have, you may not have someone that can watch your child for you. And it could be like, grandma or grandpa or uncle or somebody drinks too much and they were in charge of watching the child and they fell asleep, and you're like, no, I'm getting a better job. I'm doing this. I'm going to start looking for houses or apartments. Screw this. This isn't worth saving the money, and that's what it is. You're getting your money together. Thank you. This is not worth the money to expose your child to whatever is going on in somebody else's house. This is such a heavy message. Pisces, 6 of Cups. I kind of want to clarify this. Ending a cycle is what I hear. So you have the 6 of Cups in reverse. You are undoing something from childhood, excuse me. Ending a cycle, like from childhood, but something undoing, like something is being undone or broken or discontinued. This is not continuing. You're not reliving this from your childhood. So this is like nostalgia, childhood, and you're like, nope, we're not doing that. So that's it for parents of Leo children. That was a very heavy message for this upcoming week. Let me know how it resonates, for you. You'll know that it's yours. If it's not, then it's not. And that doesn't mean that the message was for you to begin with. I thank you for taking the time and energy to figure out to see if it did resonate. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys next week, and be sure to take care of yourselves.